If you had to describe yourself in 3 words, what would you say? Maybe you'd say, I'm an introvert. I'm not good at communication. I worry too much. I'm not smart enough to do that. Those little labels may sound harmless, but sometimes they quietly shape the way we live our entire lives. Hi, my friend. I'm Wendy, and welcome back to the Heal and Grow podcast. In today's episode, I want to share with you a fascinating concept from psychology, one that deeply influences the way we see ourselves, and that is labels. How many things people say about you are actually true? And how many of the things you believe about yourself are true? Let's take a closer look at those invisible beliefs, the labels that might be holding you back, and explore how we can gently start peeling them off so you can see yourself more clearly and live more freely. Before we begin, I want to share something personal with you. I rarely talk about myself in my episodes, but I believe that real stories like this can sometimes inspire change more powerfully than any piece of advice ever could. When I was little, everyone used to say I was a weak girl. I cried when I got scolded, cried when watching sad movies, and even cried when I saw someone else get hurt. The adults would pat my head and say, "Girls who cry this much will have a hard life later on," and I believed them. I believed that I was born to be fragile, and that my life was destined to be difficult. For years, I lived according to those labels. I avoided conflicts. I was afraid of arguments. I always felt like life was hard, and I constantly told myself that I was too weak to overcome anything. But as I grew older, I started reading more, learning more. And through that process, I realized something deeply important. It wasn't my weakness that made me suffer. It was my belief in those labels, because for so long, I had believed that I am a weak person, and that belief quietly shaped the way I lived. I was afraid to try, because I was afraid to fail. I didn't speak up because I was afraid to be hurt. I accepted less than I deserved just because I thought, someone like me could never be any different. Then one day, I came across a quote by Eckhart Tolle, and it completely changed the way I saw myself. The moment you define yourself, you limit yourself. In that moment, something inside me awakened. I realized that no one had ever forced me to live that way. It was me who believed in a label that others had placed on me, and I was the one who locked the door on my own freedom. No label can define a person forever. We are not what others once said about us. We are not even what we once believed about ourselves. We are what we are becoming. If you look around, you'll see that there are so many labels, the collective beliefs about how a person should live, should act, or should become. For example, in school or at work, people often say, only those who are good at math are smart. People who talk a lot are confident. Introverts are shy and socially awkward. And slowly, those who don't fit into these boxes begin to doubt themselves. An artist starts to believe they're not intelligent, simply because they're not good with numbers. A quiet soul starts to think they're not confident, just because they speak less than others. But the truth is, it's not like that. Everyone shines in their own way. It's just that society has long used a very narrow measuring stick. And there are many more labels, aren't there? Introverts must be quiet. Women must be gentle. Men must be strong and never cry. Good grades mean you're intelligent. Wealth means you're successful. These seemingly harmless phrases, repeated over time, become patterns that everyone tries to squeeze themselves into. And in doing so, we lose touch with the most authentic parts of who we are. Don't limit yourself. These labels are like ready-made clothes. They might fit someone else perfectly, but feel painfully tight on you. Yet we keep wearing them because we're afraid of being different, afraid of being judged, afraid of not being accepted. But you know what? Life is not a contest to see who fits the mold best. It's a journey to understand and express your truest self. There's no single formula that works for everyone. Each person carries a different story, and what brings happiness to one may not be right for another. So instead of trying to become the perfect version that society expects, why not pause for a moment and turn inward? What truly excites you? What makes you feel alive every time you do it? What makes you think, yes, this is who I really am? And what do you wish to improve? Not because someone told you to, but because you genuinely want to grow. Let the most alive parts of you have room to breathe. Whether it's your ability to care for others, your love for creativity, or your attention to the smallest details, give them a chance to grow. Because happiness doesn't come from becoming a perfect someone. It comes from knowing who you truly are and daring to live fully, exactly as that person. Don't label yourself. Be the best version of you. Let your abilities grow freely, without limits. You weren't born to fit into anyone's mold. You weren't born to become a copy of someone else, because the world already has too many copies. But there is only one you. You were born with experiences, perspectives, and abilities that no one else can ever repeat. In the end, your value doesn't come from how perfect you are. It comes from the simple truth that you are the only person who can live your life. So don't limit yourself because of a single word someone once said. Too weak, clumsy, not good enough. Those words don't define you. Because everyone changes. The person you are today and the person you were at 8 years old are completely different. Different in how you think, how you see life, and even in who you are inside. Don't let the labels from when you were 8 years old follow you all the way into old age. Those harmless sounding phrases like, "She's such a shy girl. He's so clumsy. You can't do that." They stick with us for years. They quietly turn into beliefs, and over time, become invisible barriers. When we were little, we believed that adults were always right. But as we grow up, we forget those words were only true for the 8-year-old version of us, not for the person we've become today. Because the truth is, you've come a long way. You've faced challenges, pain, and moments of growth that your 8-year-old self could never have imagined. So why let old labels define someone who has grown, who has become stronger, wiser, and far more experienced than ever before? Pause for a moment and start peeling those labels off, gently. No rush, no pressure. Just start with one simple thought. Maybe I'm no longer the person they once said I was. Be the best version of yourself. If you once believed that you couldn't, then today, try again. Even one small step is enough to prove that every limit only exists as long as you believe in it. Don't wait for others to believe in you. Be the first one who does. Believe that you can learn, that you can change, that you can become someone new. Believe that you deserve good things, even if yesterday you didn't achieve much. Because no label can ever define who you are. Only the way you live each day can tell the true story of who you really are. Be the best version of yourself. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to be like anyone else. You just need to be you, truly, fully, and freely. And maybe happiness begins the very moment you dare to believe that you can be different. You can be better. You can rewrite the story of your own life. Before we close today's episode, I want to ask you one simple question. Is there a label you've been carrying that no longer feels true to who you are? And if there is, are you ready to take it off today? to give yourself the chance to be a little more free? Thank you so much for staying with me until the end. If this episode touched you, please leave a comment or share your story. I always love reading your reflections and walking this journey with you. See you in the next episode of Heal and Grow podcast. Good night, my friend.